Hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. A pleasure to be here with you today. Welcome to the African PhD Scholars Network. It's an amazing time every time we gather to talk about different things that affect postgraduate studies and your doctoral studies. So I will begin sharing my screen very shortly, and I will talk to you today about the Empowering Excellence. My name is Dr. Genevieve Bose, and I'm here with a few of my team. I have Rosalind here, and I have Peniel here, and it's always a pleasure. So you could use the chat function, and if you're watching this on YouTube later, drop a comment in the section. You could also email us, and we'll get back to you if you have pressing questions. So we expect this to be interactive. You could use the raise the hand function or use the chat function in the Zoom, dialog box below. So I will begin sharing my screen and we will begin having a conversation today. But before we jump right into what we'll be talking about, I want to talk to you about this, the African PhD Scholars Network. So, just to confirm, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see. So yes, I can see.
Yes, thank you. I like how you let me just speak for myself quickly because I don't know what others are seeing. Okay, wonderful. So this is organized by the African PhD Scholars Network. We're not just tailored to Africans, but we cater mostly to anyone from with an African, from the African descent or ancestry. We are a network of African academics, PhD scholars, PhD candidates, researchers, and now postgraduate students. And we are here to foster, encourage community, collaboration, and conversation. I call it the CCC. So we want to ensure that you have community. You would meet with a community of researchers, community of people. We are over 456 on this network. So there are different people. I will tell you about the different places they come in at. And we're here to guide you along various points in your journey. So you may still be doing your master's, as I see from the chat that a few people here are doing their master's, that's amazing. And you may be considering a PhD, or you may not have started thinking about a PhD, but wherever you're at today, we're focused on something different that would cater to your learning. What do? We connect you to community, to support, to certain resources that you would need along your journey. Expert advice, I'll talk to you about the things we have done and the people that we have connected others with. I have quite a number of students that have passed through, become part of the network, and it has been amazing. So we connect you to people and also to expert advice. Whatever you need advice for, we are here for you. This network is for prospective PhD students. So if you're a postgraduate student, you're prospective, whether you go in or not, you're still prospective. It is for academics and researchers. If you're doing a research now, you've started your doctoral studies or your postgraduate studies. Even if you're working, there are different times where you have to do some research. This is for you. It's also for practitioners, people that are working, that have finished their PhD, and then for current PhD students. So there's something for everyone, just along the value chain. We offer a few things, quite a number of things. We offer masterclasses. Today's just a talk, but we offer masterclasses with experts. And I'll show you some examples of what we've done. We also offer webinars, and we've given workshops. We have one called the Writers' Workshop, and I feel like that will be specifically helpful for some of the postgraduate students that are here. We're also planning a dissertation workshop coming soon, but that will be next year. We have professional and mentoring support because of the extent of the network, over 456 people and growing. We offer professional mentorship support. People that have gone through different phases of the journey, they're here, and we have resources. There are things we're about to launch that we have done. And of course, there's things on YouTube. If you're not following us on Instagram, I would encourage, just to hold on before you drift off to Instagram, because I will give you the handle. These are some of the things that we have done, and some of you may recognize a few people on this slide. Yes, the very one and only Minister of Communication. These are things that we have done. And actually was supposed to be, and I think we've done about 8 now. I just managed to squeeze in 3. But we have quite a number of activities and events, talks. Next year, we have a conference, in-person conference, that we usually invite everyone to, just to hear, to be inspired, to be encouraged. Now, I would like you to join. Follow us on Instagram. If you just check for African PhD Scholars Network, I'm sure somebody will post the link in the chat. You will find a trove of resources. I'm not kidding you. It's amazing the kind of things you will find, literally things that I don't even teach in class, but you will find it there. On LinkedIn, you would also find us reposting different opportunities. And on Twitter, you will hear us having conversations, tweets. I don't know, is it still Twitter, or is it, I don't know what they would change it to now that it's now X. Xter? Or no, let's just stay with Twitter and tweets. So can I encourage you to just go on Instagram and follow, because there are quite a number of things, different tips that you will absolutely enjoy. I can assure you that you will enjoy and find them very, very beneficial. So there's Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and we have our email that we also respond to, where we offer mentorship support. Some people have asked us even recently to help with, looking at assignment briefs, looking at research proposals. We're trying to tailor to start with just PhD first. Today, we are looking at empowering excellence in academia. If you are navigating a transition, it is our hope that you navigate this with confidence. I have people that have passed through some of these talks, and I, believe it or not, at some point was a student. Believe you have better, yes. And there were things that I had to find out for myself, but I said, why not just, put them together so that it's easy for people now, or easier for people now, to find these things out. So this is why we have put this together. At whatever point of your journey, this will be helpful for you. So welcome again. If you were just joining us, and I'm not looking at the chat, but I would at some point, please let us know your name, where you are joining us from, and what stage you're at. Are you a postgraduate student? Are you a doctoral student? Or have you finished and you're in between? I would really like to know. And of course, please follow the page, so you stay abreast of what we're doing. A brief introduction. This is me, a PhD in media, communication and psychology, or sociology, program leader at a university here in the United Kingdom. Started out as a journalist. I'm now a chartered PR practitioner and the convener of the African PhD Scholars Network. And I said also that members of the team are here, and I will introduce them as we go on. You'll see them in the chat too. So before we progress, can I ask you a question? What motivated you to pursue a postgraduate degree program? And please don't say JAPA. JAPA, no. I don't know how it's pronounced. No, don't say it. Even if it is, I want you to find another secondary reason. Now, there's a reason why. If you're watching this in playback later, you could also put it in the comment section. What motivated you to do a postgraduate program? The motivation is important. If you're able to identify your motivation, the source of your motivation, it will keep you focused. It will keep you pressing. It will make you continue pushing, and you will be able to look beyond the seeming hardship and keep going on. I know there is the quest for the better life. And yes, by all means, you could write that, don't mind me. You could write that. But that quest for a better life or a better kind of life should also position you to want to do better in life. I have been a program leader, and I've seen people that are doing the postgraduate program for various reasons. And when push comes to shove, it almost feels like they're unable to continue, and they can't find enough. They can't find that, that zeal to want to do something differently. But my task for you is, and I'll see if I can pull the chat very shortly, is for you to find a reason. So I want you to think. I'll give you a minute, literally a minute, because we have a lot to cover. What motivated you to pursue a PhD program? What? You want a better life, you want to do something differently, you want to get more training, you want to earn more money, you uprooted your entire life and you came here. What motivated you? Your motivation is key to the sustainability and to the progress you would achieve on this program. So I'll give you a few minutes. I'm looking at the chats to see. And as you think about it, we will continue. So academic transitions are different. So a few people might be having, you may be coming to academia after a break, or it might be because of family responsibilities. So many things could be motivating you to come back, to come back to study. These are shifts, and I want you to know that you are in an academic transition. At whatever stage, joining a postgraduate program, doing a PhD, you are transitioning. And in some cases, you're transitioning from a different kind of learning environment into another learning environment. And hopefully it's planned, but even with your planning, there are certain things you need to be aware of and how to, navigate that realm. You may be moving from an undergraduate into a postgraduate. That is also an academic transition. So these transitions occur at different stages in your life, and it's important that you know how to adapt to the role, your environment, and some of the challenges you will face. We'll talk about challenges because you will face some challenges, but how do you navigate those challenges? We'll get there. So different kinds of academic transitions. So there is the non-academic to academic. Some of you were working, enjoying this last job, and you're like, do you know what? I need to go do a master's for whatever reason, and I'm still waiting for your reasons. So it could be a non-academic transition to now academic transition, and you're struggling and grappling with, how do I get my head out of work mode and into school mode? And you're like, I don't understand this assignments, what is she talking about in class? What are my lecturers talking about? What do they want from me? Get me out of here, I'm a celebrity. That may be what you're thinking about. So these are transitions. How do you switch? It's not as easy. I wish it were, but it's not. But then, and you're also thinking about responsibilities, money, family. What do you do? These are some. You could be switching from a postgraduate student to a doctoral student. Some of you may go on to do your doctorates, and we look forward to helping you along that journey. We look forward to encouraging you. Some people move from undergraduate to doctoral students right away. It might be a career change. You have come in from a totally different field. It's an academic transition. PhD to postdoc or new field, whatever the transition is. That shift is something I want us to discuss, that shift, because you need to understand how you can re-acclimatize into academic rigor. Pause. Re-acclimatize. Yes, especially if you're coming from a different academic environment where you were taught differently. You know, and at some point I would ask you to think about the differences you are facing now in how you were taught, how you're being taught now, how you used to learn. Some of you, it feels a bit more independent and you're struggling because it feels a bit independent. You know, there's a way you can acclimatize. How are you feeling? What is the anxiety? You want to do well. There's so much on the line. There's money, there are people's expectations, your expectation. But then before you jump to the end, what do? So to acclimatize, you have to think about this, the state that you're in, and it can be intellectually demanding. I'm not going to lie to you. Even though I teach some of you, I would not. It's intellectually demanding, but there are rigors and you can actually acclimatize. So you can start by taking a few courses to ease back into academic environment. Keynote for those of you that are here that I teach. Beyond just the ones that are timetabled, there are some modules that are not timetabled that you may have been shown, I can say that I have shown, and they would actually help you. One in particular is academic skills or academic writing. You're not going to, it's not a credited module, but it's something that would ease you back in. So you start to think critically. When they say thinking critically, what does that even mean? That would help you. So start gradually, start taking modules that would get you in that space. If it's like a car and you know the car needs a few tries, don't just wait for the timetabled sessions. Take a few that will get you revved up before the academic session. And you could just ask people, ask your academic tutor or program director, and they will let you know, they will show you. Seek support. I don't know how I can shout this from the rooftop. Seek academic support from the centers if necessary. I will have posted, I've signposted students to a number of things. Do they take it? No. I don't know what else to say. You have signposted. Take the support. At least you're here, so that's a good thing. At least you're here on a Friday. That's great. And there's some other things that, you know, for me, I have tried to schedule just to get you back, because I don't just want to limit it to program. Let's also look at things outside the program that would impact the program. That is how to acclimatize or re-acclimatize, and also set realistic expectations for yourself. Very realistic expectations. One way you can do that is on some of your modules, you might have formative assessments. Your formative, please do it. It will help you. Your formative is important. And I just got a report from one of the other tutors that they set some formative assessments and only 5 people submitted. And I'm like, oh, and you think you want to come and make a fuss on my program? Well, go ahead. But how would you pitch where you're at? Re-acclimatizing. Very important. Don't take any of these things for granted, please. So the academic environment transitioning can be quite challenging, especially if you're switching from one system to the other. There are a few things I want you to bear in mind as you do this, because it will absolutely help you. First is research the system. You need to look carefully into the system. What kind of system is it? Don't just look and see, okay, let me see how where I would live in the UK, where I would work. If maybe you might be watching this and you're in Canada. Research the system. How is it? How are things graded? Look at the grading criteria. Look at the academic calendar. Do you know, nobody has asked me about the academic calendar, because I even forgot. Usually I send, and I know Pinya and Rosalind will bear me witness, I usually send the whole academic calendar so you can plan, so you know when the holidays are, you know, and you plan. They've not asked, nobody. So you don't even know when the academic calendar is, because we're thinking very myopic. No. So we need to understand the grading criteria. Now I'm going to pause. How many of you here, whether on a postgraduate or a master's, have looked at the grading criteria? Absolutely. Even doctoral, your Viva, it has a grading criteria. Have you looked? Please put in the chat, yes or no, because I'm going to look at the chat soon and I want to see. And if you're watching later, put in the comments. Have you looked at the grading criteria? Have you taken the your outline and looked at what the grading criteria says and if you've met any of that grading criteria? Let me give you a few minutes for you to do that, because I've just seen that my battery's down and I need to get that. 1 second. So I'm back, and that was a quick one. How many of you have looked at the grading criteria? Now, it's one thing to look at it, and the other one is to understand it. You might look at it and like, yes, I've looked at it. Look at it, map it against your outline or your draft. That's why I say never submit your first draft, and then see if it makes sense. It's easy for people, and I've had people from not a few other programs, oh, can I send you my draft? No. Some people like it, I don't. Don't send me your draft. Take the draft, map the grading criteria. Then you can speak to me or speak to your tutor about the grading criteria and portions to see if you've mapped effectively. Don't send the whole draft. That's a cop-out. Don't do that. Then seek guidance. That's how you seek guidance. You seek guidance and the person knows you have actually done the work, that you have absolutely looked, engaged with the material. It takes a lot of work to produce these things. Honestly, it does. So please seek guidance and also, connect with others. So I'm trying to raise a community here where you connect with people. And also we have other people from the network that will join later and they would help share some of their stories. So find out, what have you gone through? They would offer advice. Sometimes it feels like that you don't take my own advice or tutors, you prefer to hear from your colleagues, and that's okay. Look, I'm happy with that by all means. But research the system, seek guidance, and connect with others. Connect with people that have gone ahead. Connect with people that are currently doing it, and connect with people that, you have just more insight. Another connection you absolutely need is to connect with tutors and supervisors. But when I say this, I always put a caveat. Don't think they are your friends. Don't think your supervisors or tutors, no matter how friendly they are your friends. Because the problem is people start to take advantage of it. And I've like giving you the story every time I tell the story about the student that sends me an email. Hi, Jenny. I was like, wait, what? Jenny? Jenny, even with a J, not even with a G. Who is Jenny? I'll keep saying this thing until I'm like, do you know the truth? I can't remember who that student was. So if the person is listening, I really can't remember. I really can't. But the thing is, connecting with them can be done well. You can do it differently. You can do it in such a way that you bring out the best from them. Remember, these people are humans. They're also busy. And then you can also be professional in the way you connect. Now, something else happened on a different course. Don't worry, not yours. But a student had an incident, and usually I don't give out my numbers to students because they tend to abuse it. I've had students call me on Christmas Day. I don't even know how did I give that student my number? I can't remember. Christmas Day. Oh, I cannot submit. It's like, that's why you called me on Christmas Day. My goodness. Wow. Anyway, so I had an incident, and this particular student we had to call an ambulance. This is one that happened recently, so my former students think it's not that one. Anyway, and this student Did not reach out because I had to call them. I had to get the number from the system to call. Are you home? Are you okay? Have you taken medication? Let me know how you're going. And then filed an incident report and all of that. Now, the student did not call to say thank you, which is okay. Did not text, did not send an email, you know, whatever, that's okay. A whole week later, the next module, and then I say to them, oh, I didn't get to hear from you. Well, nice one. Oh, I didn't want to call you because I didn't want to abuse something. So I was like, okay. And then the student calls me. Sorry, it's reading week. Are we meeting? After I sent a message that we're doing virtual. So let me not go too far. Connecting with tutors and supervisors, it's something I'm trying to help you. It's something you have to do with wisdom. It's something that take advantage of the reading, drop-in sessions, take advantage of their respond probably to emails, you know, they have regular meetings, use that as open lines of communication, seek clarity on academic issues, except for those that are personal tutors, do that. Another thing people miss is active participation in class. I don't mean the ones that there's some kinds of participation that just grates on the, you know, that's not the, I mean, just be present, be memorable, you know, not the one, remember, not the one that's, they look at you like, oh my goodness, the student, no. Be memorable. There are questions you can ask. Engage. It will help. Seek feedback. That way, when you send an email and say, oh, hi, I was in your class, and they remember you. So connect well. Now, another issue is understanding assignments. I know that deciphering complex assignments is often a challenge for students and also for doctoral students, because you need to understand the brief. You're asked to do a literature review and you're like, I thought this requires a deeper level of thinking and research. I know you would still get to do research methods. And if you've not done research methods, and I need to start speeding up on this, and if you've not done research methods, it's important. There is a key to understanding assignments. Yeah, Danielle, can you help me with the audio? I can see I'm getting some feedback from somewhere. Never mind, I've done it. So understanding assignments, very important. Understanding your assignment. There is a key to deciphering your assignment. And you can go back and listen to this again. Now, it's important that you read the assignment brief multiple times, print it out, write it out, find out what is expected, ask questions, you know, what about the instruction are you required to do? Look at the formatting. Do you know some people have missed formatting requirements? Ooh, there are formatting requirements. Look at the deadline. What are the objectives of this questions? Read it thoroughly. Don't miss any part of you. You need to understand the assignment. The question is, what is required of me? If some people get samples, I really should stop sending samples because it's not helping you think. But anyway, that's not for today, because I know that other people are watching this. But read it thoroughly, break it down, create an outline, try to answer the individual portions of it. Let it have manageable steps. Don't try to do the whole thing. Answer portions. That way you are able to think about it as, you know, units, rather than, if you look at it as a whole, you might get bamboozled, but think of it as units. Break it down, start in bits. And, you know, if you're doing a literature review, that's a different conversation. I think we have something on literature review. Follow us find it on YouTube. If it's not there, I think I'll upload it later. But it's important that you understand the assignment brief. And I think the key here is read it thoroughly, look at it, have manageable bits for it. Now, also in the assignment brief, let's look at, let's try to decode your assignment brief. So I said decoding. There are specific assignments or specific instructions that have been given to you. And it's important because there is an expectation for it. We've talked about the grading criteria. I've talked about the way it will be marked. I've talked about the specific instructions. Now, think and ask if you have interpreted the question correctly. Key. especially for me. Oftentimes, I leave the assignments slightly open. What do I mean? I mean that I'm expecting you to also bring something to it. Because in the place of work, we're also looking at your creativity and how you are able to interpret certain briefs, because you're not a robot, you are human. So find out if you have correctly interpreted that brief. It's not just regurgitating what has been said, but have you been able to interpret the brief? So look at word count, look for formatting. All these are, what of the pedantic stuff. Look at the criteria. Ask how your work will be evaluated. And if you've been given a sample, follow the sample. How does your content align with the criteria? If you have not done it, you're not ready to submit. If you have looked at the criteria and have not mapped your criteria with the content, do I need to say that again? Okay. I would just say, because I can't see you, if you have looked at the criteria and you have not mapped your criteria or your content to the criteria, you're not ready to submit. Full stop. Create an outline. Use your outline. Remember, manageable briefs, manageable bits. Use your outline to make sure you have answered the different sections. That is why sometimes it is given to you in sections. You can go back, listen to this again and again, and, email whoever's giving you and ask for clarity. Sometimes people even put videos to give you extra points. If you're doing a dissertation, similar things apply. What is your research question? Your research question, similar to those in different fields or corporate comms, your objectives help you to evaluate, so that when you're evaluating, you see that you have answered the question in the beginning. So what are your research questions? What are you asked to do? Have a clear research question. And at the end, you look, have I answered my research question? If you have not answered it, start again. You have to keep, in fact, write out your research question, put it where you can see every day, and look that you are answering those questions. Literature review, very important and thorough. It is not just a shopping list. It is something that helps you justify your study. What have people said that agree or disagree with what you were doing? You want to understand who else is talking about this and what they have said. You're also looking at your methodology. How do you want to collect data? For some of you, you need this in your next modules. For some of you that are on your doctoral journey already, or preparing, before you even prepare submitting a proposal, you need to think about your research methodology. How do you want to collect data? How? When you collect it, how do you want to analyze this? These are questions, and these are things we also can support you with on the network. And then timeline. What is your timeline? Don't submit your assignment or you're late. Don't do it. Resist the urge to do it. Submit early. Have a timeline. The timeline helps you to plan, and we'll talk about that. Now, returning to academia, whatever your journey is, or starting a new project, you also need to, as you reacclimatize, you also need to reintegrate yourself into research. And here I'm talking about a few things that will help you to reintegrate. So you may be thinking, okay, I just have a module or two. You can find some more, and I've given you a few here. There is the data analysis here. You could do that. There are some on LinkedIn, and we do have a resource page on APSN where you can find different kinds of resources. You could go for research methodology classes, and they talk to you about quantitative, qualitative, very important. There are research writing classes. We have one, we've had one, that help you to write. So there are different types of writing. Go on Instagram, you see we've talked about the different types of writing: formal writing, creative writing, academic writing, different tools you can use, different places. Like the resource is there. It's just for you to engage and to help. So in reacclimatizing, you need to think about how you can identify areas in your journey that need refreshing. What are you lacking? What do you need to do differently? Identify those areas. If there are things in the chat, I'll pick them. If you have questions along the way, drop them in the chat. I will pick them. What are the areas that need refreshing? If it's your academic writing, pick up classes. And there are free classes. Any school you're in, they offer free classes, I can assure you. And at some point, it will either be in your handbook, it will either be on your portal, it will be somewhere. Put it, even if it's you're going on a walk, listen, it helps you. And then collaborate with your peers. Remember, break down the task, really important. Now, how can you use technology to help you? Technology is important. It will help you. It will help manage your time, and in some cases, simplify your tasks. You need to be careful about the use of technology, though, so that you don't get caught out. Because here, there are things that if you do, there's no I beg. If you don't understand that, I don't know. Yeah, so use technology to help you look at latest developments, seminars, conferences. That's one thing I don't think postgraduate students do enough of. Go for conferences. We have some conferences that we usually send students on, international conferences, albeit virtual. So we'll see one that opens up. Use technology to update your skills, take short courses, and seek guidance from people around you. These are some apps that I thought will be very helpful, especially for those on the doing their doctorate already. Even postgraduate students, you will find that one is for writing, researching, organizing long documents. It helps you. So there's Zotero, there's Mendeley. Mendeley helps you. There's Ref and Write. Even your word helps you to ref and write. So somebody said, oh, I don't know how to reference. And I'm like, okay. There's some questions you ask and the person is like, in their mind, I should do a TV show. And the title of my TV show will be, What Tutors Actually Think. What's it? And I won't do that. Anyway, but it's important because some things are just the formula. Look at the way somebody's done it and imitate. You're not copying it, you're just imitating. And I do get that people learn differently. Some people learn by hearing, some people learn by doing, some people learn by seeing. If you check, these different ways of learning have been put for you. So they're different. There's Mendeley, Ref and Write, there's Zotero, there is, what's this one again? I think this is NVivo. They're different ones. There's Scrivener that helps you to put chunks. This is you writing over 10,000 words. Maybe for a dissertation, this would help. But I think for some of you, you can use the Ref and Write. There are other things that would help you to actually write properly and collaborate and keep things stored in a good place. And remember, when you're writing, key notes, email every draft to yourself so you have the draft in your email. If your computer crashes, open up your email somewhere else. Email your draft to yourself. Always email your draft to yourself. Put your subject header so you can remember chapter 1, chapter 2. Always email to yourself. And if you want to be pedantic, reply yourself so everything is in a thread. Always email. You never know. Water spilled on my computer today. I don't know what's going to happen, but at least I have things on my drive and my email. Now, in navigating academic transitions and in empowering excellence, I need to talk to you about overcoming self-doubt. You can do it. It doesn't feel like it now, but I can assure you, was it not you that got the admission? Was it not you that succeeded at other points in your journey? It doesn't feel like it, but what we're doing, we're encouraging you and giving you the building blocks for you to succeed. So even if you failed before, that doesn't make you a failure. That makes you somebody that will learn and will do things differently. So it's okay to feel self-doubt. Don't say, oh, no, I reject it. I don't want to feel self-doubt. It's a normal human emotion. What do you do with it? When you experience self-doubt, that's the key. When you feel like, do you know what? When I was writing my PhD, and I think I can write, my supervisor one day responded to something I had written and said, oh my God, what did he even say? He was like, I don't understand. It was just terrible. I said, wow. If I did not know why I was doing this, man, that's feedback. But I know me. I looked at the feedback. I said, do you know who I am? I looked at the feedback. The feedback gingered me. I said, hey, this man, you understand who you're talking to? I could have gone into self-doubt and like, no, it doesn't define your abilities or potential. You don't know something, you don't know something, that's okay, but you're here to learn. You're here to learn, you're here to get better. So it's part of the journey. Sometimes you might need to take a short break, not too long, a short break. Have the mindset that you can learn this, you can do better. Look for who knows better in your class, ask them. Look for how you can, but don't just sit and fold your arms. I can't do it. When you finish crying, wipe your tears and continue. I don't know what you wanted to hear. Oh, apologies. Wipe your tears and continue. Self-doubt it's not bad. What happens is when you view and leave those challenges and decide not to do anything, let's maybe change a few things. Let's see what we can do differently so you can overcome self-doubt. Now, there's some challenges you'll encounter in academia and in navigating these transitions. Absolutely. One is workload. And what I've tried to do for postgraduate students, which you will see when you go into your doctorate, is to take into consideration that you might have family responsibilities, work responsibilities, and a few other things. And sometimes we try to compress all the lectures in one day or at least in 2 days on some occasion. But workload, now it's then left to you to prioritize your workload and ensure that the other things don't impact on work. Look at the time, use your time block, use time blocks, and I'll talk to you about some apps you can use to effectively measure your time and then collaborate. People hate group work, but I think group work is great. Group work helps you to collaborate. And when you start working, you will collaborate with people at work. Now, time management, use tools. Use your calendar. I see your hand, Chinedu. I will come to you. I'll come. Just write it down. Don't forget, put it in the chat. Hold that thought, just because I'm looking at time. But I will take the older questions. Time management, very important. Time management is key. How can you use your time well? There are tools that will help you to stay organized and will increase productivity. Schedule. I use these too. I think it's Pomodoro. If you go on Instagram, we have talked about this as well. And this one also, Forest. I used this when I was writing my PhD. It's like a mini, when you set your phone and then you can't use any of the apps and you're growing a tree. So anytime you pick up your phone and want to go past the forest, you're killing a tree. And it's like, oh my God, you're killing a tree. The tree will I think the tree starts crying. And then you can build a forest, build a community. It's amazing. And during Christmas, the tree changes and has Christmas lights. Listen, the apps and productivity are made. So yeah, take advantage of these things. Schedule time blocks. So this one, you could schedule 15 minutes and say, in 15 minutes, let me write 100 words. Let me write in 25 minutes. I want to, do you know even times when you don't write and honor the time block? It does something to your psyche. There are times when I'm not even in the mood to write. Like, you guys have stressed me with your emails, and I'm just sitting down there, but I have committed to my time. It just helps you think, even when you're not writing. So time management is important. Time management is important. With your time, you set goals. I want to do this in 15. I want to do this in 20. I said I was going to check all my emails and reduce. I had about 125 and get them to 170 and get them to 25. Whew, and I tried. Almost there. We're not there yet because the more you respond, the more keep coming in. But set goals and then avoid procrastination. Not easy, but try. Use these tools. Like, there's so many more, but I'm just sharing the ones I use. Now, research pressure. These will be particularly for those that are doing a postgraduate, because some of you might be teaching, and believe it or not, when I was doing my master's, I taught. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm not telling you something. Most of these things are things I did. I was active in class. So my tutors were like, do you want to teach? I was like, absolutely. So I taught during my master's. It was amazing. So you could research pressure. These are some of the things, but planning helps you. Feedback, seek support, and then balance, create a balance. Now, also looking at balancing time allocation as well, especially for those that might be teaching. If you're already on a postgraduate, some of you might be teaching already or doing seminars. If you are not, ask. If you're masters, please don't ask me, I know. But I'm talking about those in particular PhD. Ask, maybe they might not start you as teaching. And I did that for one of my students. She's not here now, Jane. I got her to help with marking. It helps, because you can only recommend people you know and people that you trust. So it sort of helps you gradually to get into the program. So ask for teaching roles, ask for seminar roles, ask for different ways, and let's look at strategies for success. We talked about time management, create a schedule. Create, even if it's a day, and say, do you know what? This whole day, I'm dedicating it to school. I don't mean the days you go for classes. Another day for work and writing. If you can't do a whole day, dedicate a block of time. I want to say an hour. An hour is not enough. A block of time. Set those specific goals. Use the tools, your calendar, your to-do list. Use them effectively, and you will be amazed. Relationships, seek mentorship. There are people that will guide you, mentors, senior colleagues, and be willing to be open, be willing to listen to feedback and how you can address certain kinds of responses. Now, with research and writing, just because I wanted to tailor this to mainly the prospective students and the postgraduates, remember to organize, use citation tools. We have also a list of citation tools that you can use, a bit more advanced. So if you're just doing a postgraduate, you could just use the Referwrite, you could just use the Microsoft Word, and I would also say, learn the full maximum benefit, too many words, of Word and Excel, and know how to utilize those ones. Work-life balance, very important. Don't just come and let the school be your whole life. No, go out, say schedule a break, go for a movie. I mean it. I don't mean now spend the whole week saying she says go and watch a movie and that's what you're doing and you not submit. No. Schedule a break, pursue hobbies. What are some of your hobbies? I don't want you tethered to your desk. I think it's important that you can leave the desk and move and go around. So set boundaries. I came to a time where I have two laptops. One is work, one is home. There's no work email on my personal laptop. No, I would be responding to emails at midnight. I don't even have work emails on my phone. You believe it or not, work is work, 9 to 5. Once it's past 5, maybe 6 sometimes. Even then, I still haven't shut down, but at least physically, you try. It will help you. So work-life balance is important. Now, you also need to protect your mental health. Because you're not just thinking about school, you're thinking about other things. I need to make money. I need to think about people I borrowed money from. I need to think about family. Oh, I need to think about your boyfriend. Oh, so many, believe it or not, so many things. I know, someone's like, oh, no. So many things. Mental health is crucial in academia. It affects your personal well-being. It affects your academic well-being. There are times when even the weather could affect, and the way you handle stress can affect your mental well-being. Very important. In some of your schools, you will have well-being facilities. Please take advantage of it. Don't be like the people, because I know most Africans, they're like, no, I don't get depressed. Amen. But there are well-being facilities that have resources. Some of them are really straightforward. Go for a walk, do this, listen to jazz music, just take advantage. And I must say before I continue, if you have learning difficulties, there is no shame. And most times we have been misdiagnosed, or some people have not been diagnosed. And it's important that you know that you just learn. There's something you learn differently. Some people, it takes them 3 days to understand the concept. You're not slow, you learn differently. It's just that you learn differently. So take advantage of the well-being services. They will help you, they will test you, and they say, oh, you actually learn by color coding. When you color code, then it helps your mind to organize things in files. Some of you have to literally write it with your own hand for it to stick. It's not, you're not slow. We have been missold things. No, you just learn differently. Once you understand that you learn differently, I think it will free you to not take a label. And it's not, I absolutely reject labels, but understanding it helps you to know how to, deal with it differently. It's just like somebody that keeps having breakouts. And the problem is you have a problem with cheese or dairy. Some cases you don't need to stop, you just need to take it sparingly. Anyway, so signs of burnout. It's important that you need to seek support. Talk to people about your experiences, set boundaries. Signs of burnout, there's some physical signs. Your headache, you're having this constant headache and you think it's because you're not sleeping well. Your system is crashing. Your immune system, I would not stop talking about vitamin C, vitamin D, get the effervescent tablet, even get vitamin B. If I show you you'll be amazed. I have vitamin B, I have B-Co, I have vitamin C, I have vitamin D, because especially for some of you, the weather has changed. We don't seem to understand the impact of, after living in a particular place, getting different kinds of nutrients, coming to a different place, your body's reacting. Physical symptoms, you're working, you're not used to this kind of level of work. Most of you are literally walking now. You're not, before you Uber everywhere or drive, all of these effects. Emotional exhaustion, you're just, I can't do this. The space feels too small. You're used to space. Emotionally, you're tired. All of these lead to reduced performances if you don't address it. You're just fighting, okay, let's leave that. Anyway, so it's important that we want to self-care activities, exercise, take hobbies, spend time with your loved ones, eat properly. Eat well. If you need to go to the African restaurant, go and look for food and stop changing things to different currencies, please. All right, seek support, set boundaries, practice self-care, use your time management properly, and recognize the signs. The signs are important. Don't try to always, I must do it. No. And really, if you reach out and tell I'm really struggling, and you speak to GP, some people will give you extensions. I know in some cases we can give, not if you say it on the day, you're absolutely not going to get it. So, and this is the problem. When you tell students this, they now misuse it. So moving on swiftly, community and support. The academic journey can be isolating, challenging. And that's why we need support. We need support for emotional support, accountability. You need support for professional growth. That's one thing why we started the African PhD Scholars Network, to give you some sense of belonging, to know that you're not alone. Academic struggles are real, and by understanding your academic struggles, you can reduce stress significantly. You can learn from your peers with the community. You can seek feedback, insights, there's mentorship, these are ways you can share your progress. Even by sharing with others, you can be inspired. So it's absolutely important that you join a community. It doesn't have to be ours. We would love you to join ours. But even amongst your colleagues, your fellow students, there is some community that you can join that would simply encourage you. And I want you to think, I will leave you with a few questions. How think about one way you can strengthen your academic community. I know some of you might be on groups. You never contribute. You never say anything. You're just there consuming. No, even by contributing, don't always wait for people to respond. You are also the one benefiting from that. So as you continue your journey in academia, think about, what will I do to empower excellence in myself and others? What are some of the things you would have heard and learned today that would inspire your journey? Go back to your motivation. Why am I doing this? Why did I come here? How did I get here? But don't wallow in regret. Some people are literally regretting. No, I think we can always make the best and even do better. So if wherever you're at, as you navigate academic transitions, it's my wish and prayer for you that you would do it with excellence. You would learn, you would do it with confidence, and you will excel. Thank you for listening. I will stop sharing. I know I saw a few hands and I will look at the chats. I know, Chinedu, you had your hand. So if you'd want to pick this up, that will be great. Let me know what question you had. And also, this might be a good time to use your reaction button. Just, oh, thank you, Rosling. I was just gonna say, use your reaction button and and say, thank you, AV. Thank you, absolutely. Oh no, I just absolutely love. You're just looking, oh yes, you just looked at it, thank you. After it was marked, see? It's always after, but please don't do the after. Oh, amazing, I'm seeing some comments now. Sorry, I missed them earlier, but oh, wonderful. Oh, this is really good. So Charles had a question. If you want to pick that up, and I'll just wait. If you had comments in the chat, please just let me know. We wanted to make this an hour just so that people can go back to their lives, whatever you have to do later on today. Come back, rewatch this. There are links. Oh, I'm so glad you found it informative. Thank you. And remember, in this journey, you're not alone. There are people that have gone ahead that are willing to share their journey. Like I'm using my time. I'm just happy to always share. So let's see. If you have any questions, do let me know. Follow LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, send us an email. I do know I have another session with the alumni of another program. So, for those that are connected to me on that particular program, you may want to also join us for that and come ask them questions. Let me see if one more. How do you join? Oh, who's in the chat? Yes. So we have a form actually. There is a form to fill because we do send out newsletters. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Yes, the slides will be provided, absolutely, and the recording will be uploaded. Rosie and Peniel, can you see if you can get the link? Oh, you received the newsletter. If you received the newsletter, then you remember. AB, listen. Okay, do you know what? Join the Instagram and we'll post the link on Instagram in the stories. So any more questions so that we can call this a good afternoon, or albeit a cold afternoon, and then we can enjoy. You just joined. Oh, wonderful. Then go through, scroll what we've done. We've had wonderful topics. We're still planning the calendar for this this month and the remaining year, and you see a lot more. Thank you so much. Yes, getting a job with the pen. So now we're talking academic jobs, or we talking, and if this is the question, it's not for this platform. Wait till we get to the other link, and let me stop recording. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on other programs that we have. Do follow us, do send us an email if you have more questions. Big shout out to the team for their help, for their support. Rosalie and Peniel, thank you so much. And from me, it's been a good afternoon.